and B-24s practicing to drop bombs was not a good idea to have them flying out of Salt Lake International. So in 1940, there were 2 officers and 8 men sent to Wendover. And there were like 8 buildings and 1 5,000-foot gravel strip. And that's about how things went until December 7th. And after December 7th, there was just an absolute flurry of work here. As we go down, everything on your left-hand side, with the exception of one
That's
building,
from the movie Con Air.
is original to World War II. I will say one thing we have to do when I get to this fire hydrant right here, no pictures please. There's an F-35 in the hangar and they've asked us no photographs. And they've got a little group of military police. So.
Is that just after or just the hangar or?
Just the hangar.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're still good to video right here?
Okay.
Yeah. Just if you're going to video, look to the south.
Okay.
As much as I enjoy,
They're always getting me in trouble, these guys.
Time, I don't really want to spend a long time with you.
There's the lighting right there, huh? That's it.
So there were 21 heavy bomb groups that trained here. All of them except for 3 went to Europe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Each of these hangars is big enough for a B-17 or a B-24 to go in and be maintained, for them to work on the engines, props, whatever needed to happen. This building right here on the left is the only non-World War II building, and that's the new fire station. To your south, you can see these humps of dirt and then the 2 buildings out to the south. That was where all of the conventional bombs were kept when they would fly, do their practice missions out over the test and training range. That's where all the conventional ordnance was kept and stored because it was safely have it out there.
You know what's cool out here? You guys got to go look at. I can show you right over. The Salt Treaty bunkers are over there.
Here,
they still have the Russian USA
originally was not a
logo
fire
on them.
station. This was actually a bomb site, a bombardier training building, and they had these. The only thing I can think of is it reminds me of like a tricycle that's about 10 feet off the ground, and the bombardier would get on this motorized tricycle, and there'd be a huge map on the floor, and he could motor around and drop darts onto the map.
You sit in the back.
Okay. Sure? Okay, because I didn't want to stand in the way of your turning USA there. Okay, that's nice here.
But,
He's giving us a
after the
dissertation,
war,
so I'm videoing
it made more sense to be a fire station, so it's converted. The next building we're going to go to is right here. As far as I am aware, this is the only building of its kind left in the U.S. This is where the Norden bomb sites were stored.
Wow.
And like I say, there were 21 bomb groups. All but the 509th were conventional B-17, B-24s. Typically 4 squadrons to a group, and typically about 10 planes to a squadron. So you could have, if you had 2 bomb groups on the base, you'd have nearly 100, nearly a couple hundred B-17s, B-24s, and all of the bomb sites were stored here. So we'll walk over there and take a quick look.
Yeah. We're good now. Thanks.
You kids better go first in front of us old timers.
Thank
you.
This is pretty cool. I didn't know about this little love shack.
Yeah, this is cool.
I know, most of this time. Yeah, the salt bunkers. They're over there. They're old, and they still have the Russian United States logos on the side of them. They're really a great photo op.
Yeah.
They're really grand.
That is cool.
They're right there where the office is. You just go up into the right corner, and you see these little. They're inside of a chain link fence.
Yeah.
They moved them here. Same with the tower.
No.
Clint's in there right now. Yeah, he said
This is an old anti-nuclear activist here.
he said he'll show you around later. He has some of that stuff up and running now.
He's an old professor that got run off, like me. They run us off. God, I want to play some we should play some basketball right there and get a video of it.
I didn't bring my equipment.
Oh,
I bet you
yeah.
Ben's got one now.
I've been in every one of these buildings. This is the only one I've never been in, right here. Do you live in Utah?
No. Visited last time and got a
It's cool, isn't it?
tour.
Oh, this is cool. Wow.
I've been in here as well, so you guys go ahead.
So, typically for a bomb group, this is about as far as the bombardier would get. You had to have a bomb site for every training mission they flew. The bomb site did not stay with the airplane, it came here. Bombardier would come to here, someone would meet him, he'd present his credentials, serial number of the airplane, what they were doing, and he would sign out, and then the bomb site would be brought to him at this point. Originally we thought they were passed through the window, but as we've looked out the real bomb site, I can't tell you why the window's there. It doesn't make any sense because it's just too big. It's real awkward to pass it through. So the next room here, this was the only building on base to have its own air conditioning and electrical power supply. And when I say air conditioning, I mean flowing air, not particularly cooled air. There's some concrete vaults, but they wanted the air to circulate so that the bomb site.
So Tippett was probably in here with his feet up here, huh?
Probably, honestly, I doubt Tibbetts ever came here, because there just wouldn't be a real reason for him.
Yeah.
But all of the bombardiers, definitely. When the 519th was here several years ago, one of the daughters of a bombardier, she stood here and just cried because she just, I know my dad was here. And it's
I interviewed Jepson out here before he died.
Okay.
Right over there, I interviewed him.
Yeah.
And so he started to cry when I interviewed him, and he pulled the plug,
Yeah.
when it went.
So that's what this is, and we'll just go into the next room.
This is cool. Really cool. Wow. My mom was a Woodbury artist.
This is where the bomb sites would be kept. There are 5 basically bank vaults. You can see the high-tech modern heating system here. And then, like I say, when I say air conditioning, what I really mean is circulating air. The workbench behind you has been recreated. It would have been a place to make adjustments, fix broken sites. Our pin-up wall is actually based on an actual bomb site vault picture that's there on the desk. So, customize your work site.
Nice. Really nice.
And then all of the sites would have been stored in a vault like this.
Wow.
In fact, the temperature in here stays pretty constant.
Can I walk in there?
Absolutely. Yep. Usually it's a little bit cooler, but
Don't shut the door.
when I walked in this morning, it's about the same. So.
God, I got to get a photograph of this. Wow. Here, hold the camera real quick. It's running for me. I just want to get the video that I was in here. Oh, thanks. What was that?
And this is when I say bomb site. This is what I'm talking about. This is half of a Norden bomb sight.
Wow.
The other half actually would stay with the plane as a much bigger mounted piece, and we have a picture here. But essentially, a bombardier could put in airspeed, altitude, drift, and mechanically set it all. And there are some gyroscopes in there. And once everything was set and powered, at a certain point, the pilot could say, "Okay, bombardier, it's yours." And he would actually turn control of the plane over to the bombardier. And by he could be looking through the sight, and by turning it, he could actually navigate the plane. But this is the piece that would have been in a box or in a carrying case that would be in the vault. Each of these were serial numbered, checked out. Really, and it's interesting because they say, "Oh, this was super secret. This was top secret." Since the war, the truth is the Germans probably could have produced just as good a sight as this. They didn't believe in strategic bombing. So I'm not to say they didn't care is probably not accurate, but the U.S. treated this as a super secret piece of equipment. And the truth is, the Germans probably knew all about it, and probably the Japanese as well. So, here's your grain of salt.
Yeah.
The diorama we have, usually when you think about dropping bombs, or anything, you just throw it out and it falls down and hits whatever's beneath you. Of course, from 30,000 feet, you have to think of inertia. And so you could be several miles to one end of the target. The white string represents what the bombardier would see through the bomb sight. And he could be way back here. The bomb or bombs would be released back here and follow a trajectory. The picture we have there is of a German rail yard.
Hey, answer me this, because, there's a lot of confusion we argue all the time on this. What day did the Enola actually fly out of here? Was it the 5th?
Well, actually, the Enola did not fly out of Wendover for the mission at all.
Oh, it didn't?
They left, the 509th left Wendover in June.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they went from Wendover to Tinian.
Oh, so they flew, okay, so they were already out of there.
Oh, yeah, by
I'm glad you told me that.
Gone for months. And so the pictures you see of like the picture you have here, is when the plane has dropped their bombs and they're on their way out. The one thing that changed with the atomic bomb is you couldn't fly over that because the cloud would descend to 30,000, 40,000 feet. So it's interesting, in most of the histories, you will hear Colonel Tibbets say, "We developed this super unique, hard diving turn." I did an interview with one of the other pilots. He said, "It's a 180-degree diving turn." Every air cadet in the Air Force knew how to do it. There's nothing special about it. For the 509th, that got the plane from flying through the cloud. So, it probably depends on your rank and what you want to say as to how unique that term is. But that really was the only difference. Any questions? I will say almost everything in this building has been done with